Let's talk about Climategate for a few minutes. This is especially for the Australians because over here our news isn't telling us anything, and I'm putting a challenge out to the news people. Why don't you get off your asses and actually report what's going on in Australia and what's going on in the rest of the world that we aren't being told over here. For instance, they brought Gore over here and they had him up on a pedestal like Tiger Woods, and like he was some big celebrity, and he was nothing but another scumbag politician who was trying to make money out of bullshitting to people. And that's what he did with this Climategate. It has been bust right open, this climate change that's going on in the world. There is no fucking climate change. Wasn't going to swear and I swore. There is no climate change, and they've proved, they've got into these emails, and it's all over the rest of the world. It's all over their news, but in Australia we have nothing on it here. Al Gore is cancelling his open talking and book signing, and that he's dropping them left, right and centre because he's getting booed out of these places. He's being asked questions that he knows the answer to, but he can't give them an answer because he knows it's all lies. It was all based on lies. They cooked the books, changed all the graphs and charts to make it look like we were in some sort of, the earth's gonna fry and no more water, and all it was another form of controlling us, of getting us under control, and another way of manipulating us. And that's what the government does. They manipulate us because first off, they bring out some swine flu. Oh, they scare us all. We've got to run out and get the swine flu injection. They constantly create things hoping that we will go running to them like scared little sheep, which we do. The other thing is the banks here, and not just here but all over the world, but here the banks are screwing us left, right and centre, and they prey on the fact that people are too inert to do anything, that they're not going to move their bank. They put the rates up, the people are just going to pay it. And they do, because they can't be bothered getting up and going out and joining another bank. And they prey on that inertia. They prey on the fact that the Australians aren't going to get off their ass and move to another bank. I can't even tell you what I think of the banks here. They're nothing but low-life scumbags. They suck every cent out of you. In America, the Federal Reserve was loaning out billions and billions and billions of dollars to big businesses interest-free. You go to the bank, and what are you getting? Screwed over for 18% or whatever the hell whatever it is on the day. They screw the money out of us, and big businesses get let go. And the other thing that really gets to me is, like, they've kept Bernanke in this Federal Reserve over there. He has done nothing but run it into the ground, and they keep going, oh, he's doing a good job. He's not doing a good job. He's one of the worst businessmen I've ever seen. But of course we know he's there because the puppeteers have put him there, and the whole thing is run from other people. It's got nothing to do with it's the same as Obama, and it's the same as our politicians here. I just read on here that said something about, I think it was the female premier got in, and she said she's not a puppet. Oh, yes, you are, love. Yes, you are. All the politicians here, whether they like it or not, are puppets. Look at Garrett. He worked for the Greenies and everybody loved him, and he was going to change everything, and then he went and got involved with either Liberal or Labor. I'm not sure. They're both as bad as each other, so it doesn't really matter. And now he's sold out. He wants, it must be Liberal, because now he wants this uranium, not uranium, just a minute while I look it up. So they made Garrett the Federal Environment Minister, and now he's trying to push through nuclear power. He says one thing and then he gets in, but that's just the way it is. They get in there and they realise that they can't do what they want because they have no control over anything. They are just puppets, and the puppeteer is pulling the strings. And it's like Australia, we bowing and scraping to what America wants, not America, sorry, Obama and Obama's puppeteers putting these people in Afghanistan for what? For a pretend war. Everybody knows 9/11 was bullshit. Everybody knows that. I mean, honestly, does anybody not believe that? And here we are sending troops over there, costing billions of dollars. We're already strapped for cash, and that's another thing they keep saying to us, that our economy's picking up. I hate to tell you this, our economy is not picking up, and it's going to get a lot worse, and they just keep fudging the numbers, and pretending that everything's just okay, and it's not okay, and it's going to get a lot worse. And the sooner that I seen a really good sign the other day. It said, I'd like to see it their way, but I can't get my head that far up my ass. And how true is that? They need to pull their heads out of their ass, stop bowing and scraping. And also on the TV the other day, they had they were saying they put bulletproof vests on our cops, and they were saying, oh, and we're following, because this is what they use in America, and they are constantly doing this to us. They're saying they're constantly using America as a paradigm here, and we can all see how well that worked out for America, can't we? You know, and this is another thing, it's not showing us anything on our news here about what's going on in America. They aren't telling us anything. They aren't showing the protests that are going on over there about the climate change, about Al Gore and his lies. They are showing us nothing. Australia is probably, it's just to me it's like we're getting more and more dumbed down every day, and our banks need to be pulled into order, you know, something fierce. Everything over here is over the top, house prices, everything. Everybody over here is going to be suffering soon, and these banks need to be pulled into line. They get to, and they make their own limits. There is nobody regulating this shit. They just make their own limits. I could just go on about this all day. I am just absolutely fed up with the way this world is and the way people are being manipulated. We are just totally manipulated, and the inertia that we are showing, that we're just can't be bothered getting off our asses and saying, hey, enough. You know, you put our interest rates up, we're leaving, we'll go to another bank. But people won't do that. They are just too lazy. I need to go and have a cup of tea, I think. I'm going to get off here now. Just one other thing. I've got beautiful vegetables out in that garden, but I was just looking out here just now, and there's a white peregrine falcon hovering outside over the paddock looking for mice, I would say. It's absolutely beautiful. But it's time, people. It's time that we got off our asses and moved. I do that. If the bank's doing something, I've got a story about the bank here, and when I went in, it's too long to go into now, but it was how much they were charging me, how long they kept my check. They told me that they had to send this check overseas and wait for it to come back before they could give it to me. They kept this check for a month, and they charged me 10% of the check, and they charged me changeover fees because I was changing it from a foreign currency to our currency. They just screwed me over for as much money as I could. And when I complained to this lady, she said, oh, well, do you want to cash it or not? Knowing damn well I had to cash the check. It made no difference whether I cashed it with her or the other bank. They were going to do the same. And I said, no, I'll cash it here. But she got really upset with me, like she wanted me to keep my mouth shut. And I said to her, it's a scam. You're doing nothing but scamming me. You're scamming the public. And she got really upset. And I said, listen, it's nothing personal against you. I'm telling you, it's a fact. I'm being scammed. It's a rort. What you're running here is a rort. And I said, stop taking it personally. It's the bank. But she was acting like I'd gone in there and shit on her carpet. You know, she took it so personally. And surely she must, of all people, be able to see how much that they are scamming out of the Australians. Why do people feel this need to stick up for the people they're working for when they know that they're scamming people? The banks. Fuck the banks, that's what I say.